As we now dive into our next session, a topic of critical importance of sustainable development, expanding access to renewable energy in a developing community. For this session, we are welcome to chairperson of this session to the stage, Dr. the stage.
Ms. Tanvi Patel ma'am is an assistant associate professor specializing in child health nursing at CVM Nursing College Anand. With 7 years of experience in teaching and clinical practice, she holds an MSc in nursing from Charosat University and has a strong background in innovative teaching methods, research leadership, and integrating digital tools in nursing education. Ms. Tanvi ma'am has previously taught at SS Agrawal College Nursing and worked as a staff nurse at Sri Sainath Hospital. She is committed to advancing pediatric care and shaping future healthcare leaders through mentorship and research. Without further delay, I now invite Ms. Tanvi Patel ma'am to kindly take charge of this session. Please ma'am.
Good afternoon everyone. It is my honor and privilege to introduce Professor Srikant Fulari sir, a senior nursing professional with 29 years of experience, has served as a vice principal and HOD at GIMS, founding the first government nursing college in the region. As registrar of the Karnataka Nursing Council, he leads key digital transformation benefiting nursing statewide. An active academician affiliated with RGUGS since 2007, he has contributed through teaching, research, and leadership roles, including TNI Zonal Vice President and Secretary of SOCHNI. He recognized the Florence Nightingale Award 2019 and national honors. He has also published research on nutrition and anemia prevention among schoolgirls, emphasizing his commitment to nursing excellence and the community health. Currently, he Assistant Registrar at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Science, Bangalore, and Nodal Officer directing a medical education government of Karnataka. We are proud to have you with us, sir, today.
Thank you so much, Tanvi Patel madam, for introducing me. And now, as of you know, the next session. So I am going to invite Dr. Indrajit Patel sir as a speaker of the next session. So can we welcome the sir? So please, with a big round of applause, Dr. Indrajit Patel sir for the next session speaker. All of you know the very important topic. It's an expanding access to renewable energy in development communities. Please, sir. So, regarding sir, Professor Dr. Indrajit Patel ji, highly accomplished academician, researcher, and administrator with over 35 years of experience, currently serving as a principal and professor at Birla Vishwakarma Mahavidyalaya, Gujarat. He holds a PhD from SVNIT Surat and has earned gold medals in his diploma, BE and ME studies in civil and structural engineering. Dr. Patel has published over 145 research papers, supervised 6 PhD scholars and 46 postgraduate theses, and he was granted a patent in concrete composition, and under his leadership, BVM became Gujarat's first autonomous engineering college with NAC accreditation and received several prestigious awards, including the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan National Award and high NIRF rankings. Dr. Patel has been honored with 25 state, national and international awards, including the Eminent Engineer Personality Award by IEI. His proactive efforts in institutional consultancy, quality assurance, academic leadership and community development have significantly elevated engineering education standards at the regional and national levels. So with a big round of applause, let's welcome Dr. Indrajit Patel sir for his session. Thank you.
Namaskar and good afternoon to one and all present in August gathering, the chair of the session, moderators and the organizers of this wonderful conference having discussion on attainment of the Sustainable Development Goal by 2030 to the various platform, various models and various research as well as practices, and we being under the aegis of developing country, it's a very high and particular forum to discuss and present the thoughts from various researchers, various professionals and academicians across the globe. I am happy to be part of this because most of the conferences we used to meet is either on the research, pedagogy, engineering, science, technology or management. But this is a very good conference where technocrats or people who are associated with the technical educations are invited to address the huge gathering from all over India as well as abroad. I feel honored to share some of the facts and some of the best practices so far as attainment of SDG goal number 13, addressing climate change through clean and green energy. More focus is emphasized on the solar power or the solar energy, which is widely popular right from a small village or to the tribal area to the metropolitan city and developing country as well. Since our generation of the human being on the earth, the utilization of the natural resources has been pioneered. Even by sparkling of the two stone, the people will use to have a light or some fire for their day-to-day uses. Depending on the natural leaves, natural shrubs, or natural resources like river waters or stream water or sometimes well water for their day-to-day utilization. But progressing of the technology is a threat. Along with this progression, many challenges that the shortcoming of the natural resources as well as degradation of the environment, which causes directly or indirectly effect on the living beings right from birds, animals as well as human beings. It may be a fully or partial disorder of the health, directly or indirectly affecting the human health aggressively or slowly, again affecting the surroundings in terms of the birds, in terms of the animals. And we have started to celebrate the Sparrow Day, which we have never heard. Celebrating the World Sparrow Day, because if you move around Vallabh Vidyanagar in the evening time, those who are living nearby, in the evenings, the parrots and the sparrows both were sparkling so noisily that even you can record their voice in the mobile phone. But when you move around this Shastri Maidan in the center of Vallabh Vidyanagar, it is now a history that we are not able to see sparrow. Sparrow used to come to our house, our galleries, our balconies. But again, this particular degradation of the environment in one or other way through the technological development is leading to this challenge to address this sustainable goal. It was Johannesburg 10 years before where the United Nations they gathered for a noble cause how we can address this climate change, degradation, and greenhouse. And lastly, in the Paris Agreement, in formal way, they have defined this sustainable goal right from water to poverty to the scarcity of natural resources to the energy, science and technology, including the poverty alleviation. So I will speak much on the green energy, the sensitization of these resources, these measures taken by the state government, federal government and United Nations to propagate this particular mission to each and every people residing on this globe. So here some of the data which have been taken from the United Nations website, some from the World Bank report, some from the research study on this SDG. When we talk about 2022, 685 million Indians will remain deprived of access to electricity, signifying a regressive deviation from upward trajectory maintained over the preceding decades. Approximately 2.1 billion people persist in utilizing deleterious cooking fuels, engendering profound and preservative health hazards. We have started with the conventional chulhas. We used to have some jungle cut woods or some debris from the woods or some grass. Even the people in the village, I remember, even my mother, they used to have this flame of the tobacco. They were using for the fire, even for heating the water which is required for taking bath. And the smoke of that particular tobacco stem, you can imagine it is indirect addiction. And the smoke of this tobacco, that stem burning, it was not limited to our angan or our courtyard. It was spreading to entire street, 7 to 8 houses in my villages. So this is again the challenges even for this household woman, how to get this clean and clean sources for this fire, for their cooking purpose, heating of the water and utilization even for cleaning the utensils for some important occasions. Why we focus on developing the communities? 760 million people still live without electricity as per the World Bank report 2024. Energy is a key to education, healthcare, economic development and climate resilience. I have shared the three parts: the minimum utilization of energy per person, maximum utilization of energy per person and the average. So when we talk about India, it is per person annually 7,586 kilowatt of energy in one or other form we are using. When we talk about the average utilization, it is the Australia as a continent, India as a country, Australia as a continent, they are using 63.275 kilowatt of energy per person per annum. And the maximum utilization is United States, 77.028 kilowatt of energy is being used by per person. Here, the current challenges so far as use is concerned, persistent resilience on the carbon initiative of the fossil fuel. We are using some wood, kerosene, some oil or some biogas or some diesel or petrol or now the CNG or PNG in one or other way for different application. So here the fossil fuels exaggerates the environment degradation and precipitate adverse public health outcome. If you pass through any toll booth, you see the person who are engaged in the operating the toll booth. Even you see the windows and the wall of the toll booth, how black they are converted due to the exhaust from the vehicle which are standing there for few seconds or few minutes when they cross certain. And you see the people who are managing, they are without any mask or without any protection mechanism. So the security of the toll booth manager, the toll operator, they have highly exposed to the challenges. Even during winter, if you see the smokes of the burning of these chulhas, the exhaust of the fuels, exhaust from this industry, you can see the layer, just we can visible the layer. Sometimes if you pass through Vadodara, we pass through Dahej, or we pass through some Mangalore refinery, then the odor and the feelings of this exhaust gas from industries, from other sectors, you can easily feel. So directly or indirectly, it is at par with the people who are addicted with the tobacco or have some prohibited addiction, but directly or indirectly they are exposed to such harmful elements. The second challenge we face, again, the escalated capital requirement and the scarcity of accessible the financial instruments and act formidable the independence energy accessible. Many researches are going on. Even when we were in the school, the solar cooker for an ordinary person or a farmer or an ordinary household wife, they are not able to even purchase a solar cooker. Then the government introduced the subsidy and other thing. But the initial cost of each and every such development, it is again challenge for the people or the community of the developing country. Extensive deficiency in electrical infrastructures, particularly in rural territories. Nowadays, we talk about the Jyotirgam, 24 hours of energy, supply of electricity. Even the farmers, they are promised to give 12 hours electricity during daytime for the farming activities. But again, maybe due to proper adoption of the national grids, proper distribution of the power to the different state and different communities. Again, these are challenges for the people who are living in the tribal areas as well as in the rural area where the proper infrastructures for electricity is not available. Limited infrastructure and I mentioned lack of the national grid connection. You see, since last decade in India, each state, the government has now made a concerted effort to have a common power grid and the distribution system with the use of the technology, particularly the computer science and technology, based on the requirement of the state, based on the requirement of the city, the energy will be distributed across the state and across the nation. High upfront cost, solar panel, wind turbines and other technologies are very expensive. If you move around the highway, you see the wings of the wind turbine or the windmills, right from manufacturer Suzlon at Vadodara or Elecon. It is transported to the Kutch, it is transported to the Mangalore, it is transported to the northeast part. So transportation cost, erection cost, it is highly high to afford by a common people. There are some miniatures which are created, but again, the expenses toward the cost which cannot be afforded by the community people or the people who are residing in the villages and the tribal areas. Technical knowledge gap, all these things are available, but the sensitization nowadays, government at the state level, at the central level, they are making so much effort even during the news, during some programs on the television, as well as some camp. They are demonstrating each and every technology so that the end users can be exposed to the latest available technology which are being developed by the researchers or the technocrats. The goal number 7 of the SDG, again, right from poverty to this hunger, to this health, wealth, education, gender equity, but energy is an unavoidable factor for each and every sustainable development goal. If there is no energy, you cannot think about water. If there is no energy, you won't think about the finance and the power. If there is no energy, you cannot think about the education. So the goal number 7, that is for the clean and clean energy, it is again last year in October I have addressed in the BRIC Climate Change Summit how best we can address the clean and green energy, particularly in the BRICS country, because the natural resources wise, the population wise, the education wise, these five countries lead among all even developed countries. So if the BRIC country unite together to transfer of the technology, transfer of the education, transfer of the thoughts and ideas, then we can do a commendable to address the goal number 7 of the SDG. I will not go into much detail, but here from 2015 to 2021, the proportion of the global population which is accessible to electricity has increased from 87% to 91%. This is only outcome of the awareness program, sensitization program, and publicity by the government officials, by the technology people, by the NGOs and the social organization. In 2021, the developing countries installed a record-breaking 268 watt power capitals of renewable energy and generating the capacity. So ultimately, we have to search for new and new ventures. We have to install a new and new technology frontiers so that the scarcity of the energy globally can be minimized and each and every people in the community is available with the clean and green energy. Ensuring the universal access to the affordable electricity by 2030 means investing in a clean energy resources such as solar, wind and thermal. Solar is almost popular. It is nowadays more and more promotion of solar energy is being done at each and every level. Wind energy, again it is limitation based on the availability of the technology, based on the availability of the finance, and based on the available geographical location. I cannot install windmill in the Kheda district or Anand district. We have to go for some marine area or some area or hill area which are exposed to the perennial wind, because perennial wind is a need of the day so that the wind turbine can function around the year. To ensure the access to energy all by 2030, we must accelerate the electrification, increase investment in renewable energy, improves the energy efficiency, because energy losses right from generation to the switch of a household or the user is very around large research survey says 38 to 42% energy losses are there right from generation to using during the transmission. So we are wasting a lot of natural resources by way of these energy losses. Here are some facts. Total final energy consumption by 2012 and 2022, initially 9.5 the renewable energy. Then here you can see it is increased from 9.5 to 12.9, and here it contributes 7% is the renewable and 4.9 is the renewable heat. So heat and energy go side by side. Sorry. Again, renewable share of the total final energy consumption by the sector. Industry 34%, they are using 33% in the buildings and construction, and 30% in the automobile and transportation, and hardly 3% because community, when we talk about the rural community, they are engaged in the agriculture activity, and only 3% renewable energy is being used by the people who are directly in the community or the agriculture with the farmers in the rural area. Why renewable energy? So we have wind, oil, coal, geothermal, solar, hydropower, biomass and nuclear energy. So here solar energy again very good potential, and bioenergy reserves are abundant available across the numerous developing geographies. Nowadays people have tried the geothermal. Again we are using the heat which is available underground, which can be used for day-to-day purpose, particularly in the industries as well as some big buildings like auditorium, stadiums or some public gathering places. Sustainable reduction in technology and deployment of cost render renewable energy progressively more economically is viable. So all of these are merits of the renewable energy, importance of the renewable energy access, economic empowerment, health improvements, education, and again climate actions. Together with all, again the renewable energy, it covers hydroelectric power, conventional wave energy, tidal wave energy, solar energy, biomass energy, geothermal energy, and wind energy. So if you see the right hand side, 4 technologies, they are more popular and affordable even by the group of the communities or NGO as well. We will not go into the technology of this particular energy sectors, but every one of us are more popular with the solar energy. Each and every roof in the villages as well as urban areas, now they are empowered with the solar energy and cutting down the use of this energy which is electricity supplied by the government at national and the state level. So you can see the pictures of some township or communities, how they are covered. Even we don't have space for the kite flying. The traditional and more popular technology which are using the solar energy, solar water heater, solar rooftop for the electricity generated, water pump. Nowadays, particularly Gujarat government is model state for providing this solar panel for the pump. Majority of the farms, big farms, even they are replaced because they are not getting electricity, particularly when it is peak requirement, or the water when it is peak requirement. So the government has now developed, people have developed this pump which is run by this particular solar panels with a low efficiency, low effort and high efficiency output. Solar cooker, if we talk about here in our area, particularly this Anand district, we have Sardar Patel Renewable Energy Research Center just next to BBM Engineering College, and Tribhuvandas Foundation, again NGO, they are working very hard for the sensitization of this. They regularly have camps in villages, in tribal areas. Even the school students are brought to this particular campus for the boot camp and open houses, and they are educated right from their schooling for this technology which are popular. Solar heat pump, solar street light, water distillation system. Again, in the area where the salination, particularly there are big plants which are used to convert the sea water into the potable or water which is applicable for these agriculture, but it requires a huge space, huge investment. So nowadays, for even household purpose, the desalination of the water, this water distillation can do by this particular. Recently, one of the researchers in the Parul University, he has brought a innovative this desalination system which can be even installed just next to your kitchen or next to your water tank, and the water which is not required now, SOCHNI plant even. SOCHNI plant are the costlier, and the deposition of the salt again require this tedious maintenance. So this particular solar-based water distillation plants are now popular. Solar drying system again for the baking and other purpose, even for making some fast foods and readily eatable foods. These solar baking or dry systems are available. Solar lanterns, solar home light system, and solar blinkers. You move on the highway right from Ahmedabad to Delhi via Jaipur. This is a particular system level solution in Vallabh Vidyanagar. They have installed all these blinkers, all these flashing lights, and all these lights which are or some eye-catching features, including the signboards. They are run on these solar panels. So each and every sectors now solar energy is playing vital role for the application. Again, these applications in the sensors, applications in the transportation, applications in the energy harvesting. Nowadays, the solar farm, again it is a popular terminology, solar farm. Like we have wind farm, but you go to Khavda, just at the Pakistan border and in the Kutch, 30 gigawatt energy is being generated through the solar farm near this Khavda Pakistan border in India. So each and everything you see, our students of the final year, along with our alumni, we have produced world first solar backed bicycle, and which was felicitated by our Chief Minister Sri Bhupendra Patel. We have patent. So initial cost was 27,000. It is hybrid. Even it can be charged through battery. It can be charged through the pedal. So we have given to the 5 needy students, so they are using bicycle for commuting from Anand or surrounding area with the solar bicycle. So we have patent of this. So students are even engaged in this type of these innovative practices. Wind energy, I mentioned, it is a good source, but initial cost is high. The geographical location is a challenge, and maintenance at the height of 90 meters or 100 meters is a big challenge. Handling of this windmill required, and the runoff cuts, entire major pockets, they are covered with this wind farm. But again, the networking of this all with these windmills and putting this particular power into the national grid, again it is a challenge. So this is experiment in our laboratory. We have recently have a center of excellence in hybrid energy. So we have this wind as well as electric plus the conventional energy. So students are again working on this windmill which can be used for the household purpose. Even the farmers, they are installing windmill for operating the pump also, pumping of the water. So it is for use for the electric general, battery charging, water pump, then grinding the grains, desalination and reduction of the carbon emission. So these are the application of the wind energy. Biomass, again, we are converted with the PNG and CNG, particular fuel for our automotive. So this is one of the source. And here the Charotar Gas Limited, it is supplying this biogas to almost all the villages of Anand and Kheda district. A single cooperative society in Anand, it is doing the Kheda district as well as Anand district, they are covered with the supplying of the domestic gas for the geysers and cooking facilities to each and every people in our area. I remember when I was in the 8th standard, my father started community-based biogas, gobar gas, it is conventional name. And in our village, 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening, we were supplying the gas for the cooking and water heating. And it run for our 8 years. And the slurry which was generated, it was used for the manures, for the nursery and other horticulture work. So these things are not new, but it is not sensitized. It is not being popular among the people. This Nirdum Chula, smokeless chula, again it is a product of this Tripubandha Foundation and some NGOs. They are keeping on some experimenting and they are giving this on the subsidy rate, but this is now outdated. But these are the, pioneering of addressing this sustainable goal, formally or informally. Meet, so now we do talk about SDG, but before also in informal or other platform, people were addressing this clean energy. Community-based biogas plant and water heater in Indian villages, you can see. This is most popular. Recently, here we have Dakor, one pilgrim, station just 40 kilometers away. And in BAPS, we have Gaushada over there. We have 300 plus cows and buffaloes. And recently, we have tried to collect these particular, generate the gas from the gobar. And we have set up we have done the research how we can store this gas, how we can compress this gas from big tank to small tank. And now we are going to give this particular gas for the automobile also. We are in the process of laying down the pipeline to the road. So such type of the initiative by the community, by NGO or by religious trust is highly appreciated for countries like India. So almost all such people who are engaged in these cattle grown businesses, particular these Gaushala and other, they are doing this wonderful. Again nowadays ethanol blinding, everywhere again you move on the highway, then GST ke saath milega urea. So it is mandate now, every 10,000 kilometer, every 1,000 kilometer, based on the type of engine, you have to blend ethanol. So use of the petrol is minimized and the efficiency of available petrol with the octane of 90, we can increase the octane from 90 to 95. Octane is the purity of this particular petrol or the fuel. So by mixing or blending this ethanol in very small amount, you can increase the efficiency of the fuel which is used for automobile, and you can increase the efficiency and average of your vehicle. So again, these are community which are in the hill area, they run small turbine. Again, I will share one experience. In 2004, I have visited one of the landfill in Philadelphia, USA. Here if you see landfill, the crows are flying, some vultures are flying, and you can see there is some garbage or something disposed. But the landfill they were preparing. The water which is percepted from these dumped garbage, which is leaching from this garbage, it is collected through a gallery of the pipe, and they are running, they are cleaning this particular water, they are running some small water turbines, and the clean water is supplied to the gardens and agriculture surrounding that particular landfill. Even the gas which is generated from the biodegradation of this particular garbage, again they are making usable, and they are providing this gas as a source of fuel. So here they are well aware before 1.5 decade, but till we have not followed this thing in our landfill, just we are shifting the place from one place to other place. Hydroelectric, again Narmada is the best example of the hydraulic. We are generating 250 on bed and 2500 underground riverbed generation of the power, and we are fulfilling part requirement of the Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra as a part of the Treaty of Narmada. So again this particular use for this turbine and electricity generation. Hydrogen fuel cell, again this is one of the latest developments so far as this green energy is concerned. It is okay, the pure hydrogen and pure carbon we can be available from many sources, but nowadays the researches are being conducted that the sewage water, some of our students they are working how to extract carbon and hydrogen from the sewage water, and this can be used for these batteries of the fuel cell. And again we are establishing one lab. Within 3 months the lab will be ready to educate the students so far as the fuel cell. It is very clean, very compact and efficient technology, and Reliance they have started some buses run on the hydrogen on a pilot basis. In Germany, France trains are running, so it is no matter. But so far as developing country, till we are in the adoption stage, but many things are going on. From Vadodara to the Sardar Sarovar Kevadia, the buses which are running, again they are fueled by this hydrogen fuel. So these are the ways how we can imbibe the people towards the technology. Geothermal energy, again the energy which is within the crust of this particular earth, it can be also used for the different applications of the energies. Geothermal air conditioning is one of the best output of this particular. I particular in myself, I have done one experiment next to my cabin. I have made dig the ground for 20 feet, install pipes and some insulators, and then blower to my cabin. So without AC, it reduces the temperature in summer I am talking about 5 degree to 7.5 degree. So without air conditioning in the closed environment, I was working in the summer of 45, 44 degree. Even so, such type of the small household or the domestic application of the geothermal technology can be made, and we can avoid the AC and the blowing of the heat from the AC compressor, and again adding to the heat in the environment. So there are many case studies, but I mentioned this farm just near the Pakistan border in Kutch, Khavda. 30 gigawatt of energy is being generated by Adani Energy. Even this airport, Cochin airport, entire airport of the Cochin, it is run by these solar panels, which is just installed 2.5 kilometers from the Cochin airport. If you go from airport to the Kochi city, you can see on the left side, thousands of acre land, you can see on ground solar farm. So Cochin was the first airport to adopt this particular technology. Greenhouse, for the horticulture, for the nursery, for vegetables. Nowadays this is popular. How this particular thermal energy can be retained with this in a controlled environment, and we can expand or grow our vegetables or plants. So this is the greenhouse farm. It is more popular in our area as well as all around Gujarat and even Himachal Pradesh and other area where there is heat is a problem during winters. So this particular the greenhouse farm, solar, concentrated solar where there is a high solar mass available from the sun. So concentration of the solar energy is also required for effective adoption of this particular technology. Again, this is In Kenya, you can see the tribal area, how they are enjoying. So here, I will not speak much more now. So it is way India is making progress in green growth to the renewable energy, expansion and sustainable practices. India is a global leader in solar energy. It has one of the largest growing solar sectors with a capacity of 67.82 gigawatt, which is now expected to 90 gigawatt of generation in the days to come. Again here, National Solar Mission aimed to achieve 100 gigawatt solar power capacity. It was by 2022 and we have reached to 90 as I mentioned, but by 2030 it must be of order 280 gigawatt. National Wind Energy Mission, already the country has one of the largest wind energy programs in the world. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, that is for this program encourage a shift from traditional biogas or the LPG gas to the biogas, as I mentioned, the Charotar Sahkari Gas Limited in our area. National Electric Mobility Mission Plan, the government aims to have at least 30% of all vehicles as an electric vehicle by 2030. Again, the initial cost, maintenance cost, and managing the solid waste of the batteries after complete use. Again, it is a big challenge. Many researches are going on. The solid waste will be generated from the batteries of the vehicle. We have a huge order. So these batteries are now coming to some lithium and other resources they are exploring, so that once they are used, these solid waste can be managed easily. The fund is generated by imposing the coal cess. Nowadays, all the thermal power stations, the government imports the coal cess, so they are now migrating from the coal power to the renewable energy power. Green India Mission to increase the forest and tree cover. Yesterday itself, in the celebration of the 66th Foundation Day of Gujarat, the Chief Minister, Sri Bhupendra Patel at the Gujarat, he addressed the people about increasing the green coverage area. Though Gujarat and the surrounding area is a tribal area, but apart from this tribal area, the sea facing, the deserts, at least the mangrove and other type of trees can be grown depending upon the climate as well as the geographical condition. National Biofuel Policy aims to blend biofuels with conventional fuels up to 20% ethanol blending by 2030. Sustainable Rooftop Implementation and Transformation of India, this 3T scheme, again motivation for this rooftop now from commercial to community. That is the mission of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Each and every house, each and every street, green building movement, again Griha and IGBC ranking or accord, it is again for the greenhouse, for green buildings, green materials, smart materials. It is again very much agile and aggressive in adoption. Particular architecture planners, they are focusing more on these green buildings. International Solar Alliance, that is ISA, integrated by India and France. ISA bring together 121 such a rich countries to collectively enhance solar power generation, address the energy security and reduce the carbon emission. National Hydrogen Energy Mission. So these are the policies or the missions which are taken by the national government and percolating to state government, Jilla and Tehsils. Strategy for expanding assets. So financial model, sustainable financial model, pay as you go, partnership of government and NGO. I mentioned about the BAPS, Charotar Sahkar Gramodhar, then Sardar Patel Research Center, Tribhuvandas Foundation. So in each and every state, there are such NGOs which are collaborating with the government, community involvement and policy support. Because if all is there, but the policy is not formed, then the people will be reserved to adopt the new innovation. So these are the benefits, nothing to share, lead to better health by reducing the indoor air pollution, outdoor air quality, creating a greener and safer living environment. It also supports education by providing reliable lighting, allowing students to study for longer hours. Additionally, it empowers the community by enabling greater participation of women and youth in energy-related initiatives. Economically, the availability of the power helps the local business to grow and creates newer opportunities for the community and the rural people. Challenges, again, every development comes with the challenges, cost, maintenance and skilling. So again, I think we have one session in the BRICS, that is green economy, again with the green technology, green material, green economy, because the educating the people in each and every sector is equally responsible. So we have one session on how the BRICS country can contribute, the universities, the schools, the colleges can contribute for this green economy and educating the students in each sector toward these climate change challenges. So ultimately, conclusion, only thing we should adopt the green energy, clean energy, affordable energy, and because the sustainable development is nothing but all these resources we have borrowed from the preceders and we have to preserve for our followers. जैसे हमारे बाप दादा हमको मिलकर देते गए, हम उसमें से कुछ कमाते हैं और हमारी अगली पीढ़ी के लिए हम ठीक करते हैं और इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. तो सिमिलरली natural resources are not owned by us, we have borrowed from our forefathers and we have to preserve for our next generation. May God bless all of us for a better future and a better world to live safely and healthily. Thank you very much. Any addition? This is just overview. That technological we are very sound. Numbers we have not focused, but this is just overview how this renewable energy, which are the different types of energy, where they can adopt it, and what are the current scenario, what are the challenges, and what is the national vision, particular India vision for the days to come, and addressing the goal number 7 by 2030. We are doing many research, even the cement, particularly my research is on replacement of cement by industrial waste. Right from 10% to 70% we have replaced the cement by fly ash, by vegetable husk, by rice husk or other materials or agricultural waste. And nowadays 1 ton of cement production requires 1.08 ton of carbon in the atmosphere. So it is reduced. The PP kit, which were much used during this corona. So myself and Jagruti, our BTech scholar, we work on the PP kit and we converted PP kit into some grains, in some fibers, and we have added for improving the property of the chemical, physical and binding property of the cement and concrete. So our patent is granted and now we are talking about the commercialization of this patent which is granted, the PP kit. It was difficult to dispose during the corona. Huge ton of the PP kit work, but now we are using. We have collected from saloon, we have collected from hospitals, and we have one of the other research scholars is working on some natural agents or additives. If we apply with the paint, the greenhouse gas surrounding your building will be normalized into conventional oxygen. So such type of the work is expected from the students, from the researchers. Merely A plus B equal to C will not research. The research which addresses the community need, which addresses the society need, and which addresses the nation development policy, that is research. Otherwise, the research are application research and the basic research. So we should more focus on a basic research rather than applied research. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your deliberations. So it was very informative, very innovative. So many new things we have come to know, since it is not out of healthcare sector also, but the scope we need to apply it to the community. As a community health nurse, when you are going to the community, you should sensitize the peoples of community regarding the various modalities, sir, which has said about the application in the community rural area as a renewable energy, and which are especially the solar energy, which is very, very popular now. Everywhere it is being used very widely. Then the thermal and hydro energy. Now the solar panels, wherever it is being used. Sir has told in detail. I think all of you have come to know. Have you got the concept of renewable energy? All of you? Say yes. I think energy needed for you people only because your energy is very low after post lunch. Huh? Have you understood or not? There is no Josh at all. How is the Josh? Only sitting on the high, that's all. Huh? Still the wife should come. Okay, how is the Josh? See, sir has taken such a beautiful energy class, still you are not energized. Huh? So this is the, see, energy and its, the various modalities, and sir is very resourceful in this sector, is very much expertise in this sector, and Dr. Indrajit Patel sir is a highly accomplished academician, researcher and administrator, and his proactive efforts in institutional consultancy, quality assurance, academic leadership. So he is contributing a lot to the community development. With a big round of applause at least. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Madam, have questions? Yes, please. SOCHNI Vice President, Madam Dr. Chandrila wants to have a clarification. Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations for the comprehensive presentation. Because of that last concluding remarks, I got this question to ask you. Generating the waste also into using the waste, you are able to bring forth a solution like the PPE kit.
See, totally, particularly my students and the professionals who are working with me, we always used to use the byproducts or the industrial waste. I share one example of the cement.
Yes, sir.
Production of the 1 metric ton of the cement produce 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide, which is exposed as a greenhouse.
Yes.
It uses 6 gigawatt of energy for 1 bag mix of a concrete. It uses around 25 liters of water for 1 bag of cement. And concrete is the most used material on this earth after water.
Okay.
So if you address the cement and concrete and we use this recycled or industrial waste for different applications, it is not only for cement, even that nowadays we are making new surface for the roads. So old surface and other things are degraded. We are demolishing buildings. So all these debris, they are making now reusables, and huge research is going on. Nowadays there is a problem of burning of this field in Punjab or धुआं जाता है दिल्ली में during. So that husk we are using to blend with the cement and concrete and make it eco-friendly cement. There is a rice husk, wheat husk, then jute fibers even. After the coconut industry, they are making some nets, they are making some bags, till the fibers are available. So these fibers are used for enhancing the property of certain materials. You talk about the rubber. Tires, even after remolding, we cannot use it. So it is thrown, and the disposal of the rubber is a huge problem. One of my friends, I give him idea to install extracting carbon from the rubber. So we have one factory here, Chagodar in Ahmedabad. So his son is getting import tires from entire Europe, and all these tires are processed, and we are extracting carbon, which is used for different applications. So solid waste management and industrial waste management is really challenging, and we continuously should even water, recycle water. The water from sewage, it goes to agriculture, it goes to nursery, it goes to some, use for these cows and other things.
Yes,
So recycling is also reuse, recycle,
yes.
and
Reduce,
reduce.
reuse.
3R.
Yes. And, sir, actually my question was to you. My question actually was, with this digital technology and so much, lot of e-waste is generated. Do you have plans to convert this e-waste into any kind of energy?
Very good. I mentioned about the generation of the waste of the batteries of the e-vehicle, which will be again disposed after repeated of the charging, because battery we can charge for some years or Sometimes it is when the internal mechanism is outdated, you cannot recharge battery. It can be created to some accident. So we have gone for this particular lithium type of the material. We can use the lithium batteries. But right question, the e-waste. We at Charutta Vidya Mandal has make a policy. Every year we are collecting this e-waste, particularly the computers, the printers, the peripherals. The waste, the things which are not used by us as per configuration, we are given to school. Just we upgrade them. So school do not require to again buy new computers. So which are of our technology outdated. So we improve that and give to the other schools. So this way, even not school, even our management is giving to surrounding school also. The computers, the printers, we are rehauling. But till in USA, they have taken very, if you move around the major highways of the USA or outskirts of the town, they crushed the particular vehicles to a single paper like thin sheet, and they have a huge stockpile of all these automotives. Similarly, nowadays, all these e-waste, they are crushing to powders. They are segregating some board, some cheap, and the covering material, there is a thermoplastic. So they are crushing and making, small grains from them. And again, these particular grains, they are used back as a recycled plastic for different applications. So there is a huge invention even about this e-waste, but even policy is different. Solid waste management, conventional waste as well as e-waste. You cannot have green container, red container, yellow container. There is a special container even for e-waste as per this environment policy, which should not be mixed with the conventional solid waste. Yes, there are a lot of research, but they are recycling this plastic and they use for the other applications. Even the fibers, you can see now a lot of pillows and mattresses, the Reliance fiber, right? Initially we are coir mat or we are using this coconut fibers or sometimes the cotton fibers for the matting and pillows. Nowadays these synthetic fibers, polyester and propylene, they are being used for making mattress and pillows as well as some other materials. So nowadays there is a single field which is left where the people are not working on the recycle and reuse.
So I should say that your presentation was very, very useful to us and very thought-provoking, as Dr. Shrikant put it. My question to you is, India is trying to promote e-vehicles, electric vehicles now. How do we dispose the batteries? Because I heard it's very difficult to dispose of lithium, nickel and cobalt batteries. So are we thinking about the long-term use of electric vehicles, or we just are promoting electric vehicles? Thank you.
Good question. I mentioned same thing before also. Why the e-vehicles in India are not too popular? The one is the initial cost. Second is the facilities for the charging on the ways and around the town. And third is the challenge. After repeated use of the electricity, after charging, sufficient charging, there must be saturation of the charging. So the battery will be not be of use. So here the system level solution, one of the industry just nearby our township, they are working on this disposable, how these particular batteries can be again recycled for, but till we don't have any strong conclusion. There are different ideas, but there is no one single line, directives for the reuse, recycle and reuse of this particular. But lastly, they have come to our campus and we have discussed with their professionals. They are our alumni, but most probably in a quarter we can have some directive, and they are going to propose this to Gujarat Pollution Control Board as well as the national this Green Council of Green Energy. So definitely it is a challenge. So while we are not popular, but we have our students have also started working on this particular department of electrical engineering, and these civil and infrastructure students, they are working on this particular mechanism.
Thank you, sir. As we wrap up this insightful session, we begin by expressing our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, Dr. Indrajit Patel, sir. Sir, your session today was both enlightening and thought-provoking. We are grateful for the expertise and knowledge you have shared. May I kindly request Professor Shrikant Fulari, sir, and Ms. Tanvi Patel, ma'am, to felicitate Dr. Indrajit Patel, sir, with a memento and certificate of appreciation as a token of our sincere thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Next, our warm thanks to our respect for his thoughtful presence and support during this session. Sir, your contribution has truly enriched today's discussion. May I now request Ms. Tanvi Patel, ma'am, to kindly felicitate Professor Fulari, sir, as a gesture of our appreciation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And last but certainly not least, a heartfelt thank you to our session moderator, Ms. Tanvi Patel, ma'am, for skillfully facilitating the session and keeping it meaningful and engaging. May I now request respected Dr. Rama Taneja, ma'am, President SOCHNI, to kindly felicitate Ms. Tanvi Patel, ma'am, with a memento and certificate of appreciation for her contribution. Thank you, ma'am.